I keep seeing people not understand the War Devil. So I'm going to explain all the powers and abilities they have. The very core of the War Devil is that she can turn anything into a weapon. However, there are parameters and loopholes involved. If that boy fell for me, it would make him mine, though. I could turn him into a weapon then. Which means she can only turn things into weapons that she deems as hers. That's why an inanimate object like a ruler can easily get turned into a weapon. It's not going to fight back. However, Denji didn't get turned into a weapon here because of a condition that wasn't met. And that's the fact she didn't win. The War Devil has to feel like it has won. It has defeated you. And that can be in some pretty stupid ways. And I'm not joking when I say stupid. This shit was fucking ridiculous. But do you want to take a guess how exactly the War Devil won by showing the peace sign? So because the Fallen Devil's hand was out flat, Yoru took that as paper and played scissors in her own game of rock, paper, scissors. What the fuck? She made her own game, her own rules, and won. She doesn't have to physically defeat you as long as mentally she's won. That's all it takes. That's how Denji won in this scene. She had her hand out pretty flat trying to make him into a weapon. He played the scissors card and won. Yoru thought she was having all the jokes but doesn't know Denji graduated from clown school. He literally says, you played paper, I played scissors, you lose, which means I still belong to me. Now moving on, the War Devil can use any weapon that's ever been invented and recall them back because she is the mother of them all. As long as she remembers them. As she forgot about nuclear weapons, but as soon as they were reinvented and she remembered them again, she could use nuclear weapons. Which is how they were able to pull off shit like this because they used the tank and the gun devil. However, this wasn't solely her powers, there was a contract involved to be able to do this. Which in this case was 400,000 people of the National Pistol Association lost their index fingers. And another contract she holds is she has a contract with the governor of California. She made a deal to not attack California, but every time she dies, that death passes on to some random guy in California and she just lives. These powers so far have been very similar to Makima, the fact that she has to feel like she's defeated you and won to use her powers. And she made a contract that every time she dies, someone else actually dies in their place, which is what Makima had as well. Now we circle back around to her making weapons, and the scale of the weapons she can use and the thing that she can turn into a weapon all depends on her power level. And her power level is obviously dictated on how many people are scared of war. That's how it went from rulers, pencils, and spinal cords to the entire fucking state of Michigan. Now, obviously, she's the War Devil, but people seem to forget how good she actually is at using weapons. She seems very skilled with most weapons she uses, and she has pretty good speed, agility, durability, and everything else. Also, this is what the War Devil looked like when it first showed up. I still have no idea what this creepy looking owl duck is, but okay. Now on to maybe the most interesting part is the bang. Horseman's Devil's power seems to all be kind of related because Makima also had the bang. Now something interesting to point is it's not a set radius and power. She can go from shooting an entire building in half to then just simply popping someone's head off. So the War Devil has insane control and accuracy on this little ability. And to be honest, it's just so cool to watch this ability play out. Because this shit ain't used for show. It can tear a hole through Pochita. Which also tells us hers is much stronger than Makima's. Because when Makima used this same ability to Pochita, it didn't really do much. By the looks of it, I don't think Pochita was expecting the War Devil's version to hit that fucking hard. Now, the abilities the War Devil has seems to change and evolve depending on how strong it gets. It's to the point now where the War Devil doesn't have to give something a name or even touch it to turn it into a weapon. Like she did with this soap, which kind of means that she can look like Darth Vader, hold her hand out, and maybe Pochita's days are gone. I don't think we've seen this kind of progression on any devil thus far. Now, I think I've covered it all, or at least most of it. If I missed something, I'm sorry, guys.